Let's play some APBA golf. I'm Scott Moeller, and today is the first day of the 2024 PGA Championship, and got me to thinking about a replay that I'm doing of last year's 2023 PGA Championship, and I thought it might be fun to revisit Oak Hill, the course that was played on, the East Course at Oak Hill, which is Acorn Hill in APBA's rendition. And I've talked rather extensively about the 2023 replay that I'm doing over on the Game Caddy website. And you can see the URL for it there, thegamecaddy.com. And some of the challenges of playing this particular course, particularly for shorter hitters. And I won't go into too much detail about that in this video, although, depending on how things play out, you may see examples of what I've talked about in my write-ups of the first three rounds of that 2023 PGA Championship replay. I'm going to be using a player today that is not part of that replay because he did not make the cut, and that's Harris English. He was 9 over after the first two rounds, and hopefully I'll have better luck than that as I play 18 holes starting today. We'll see whether I can get through all 18 or not for this video. And if not, there'll be a part two. But let's go ahead and get started. You can see Harris's card there on the screen, and behind it is the first hole at Acorn Hill. And you can see that this course presents a number of challenges in terms of terrain, including the usual trees, in this case, some water. We've got bunkers, of course, but if you look down here, you'll see that some holes also have mounds, which are these things right here surrounding the green. And there's some special terrain notes that I'll get to in a moment in terms of how you play from those mounds, as well as how you play from the rough. So let's go ahead and take a look at the Game Caddy here. We're using version 6.2.1 of the Game Caddy, and I've already gone ahead and loaded Acorn Hill. And here's those special features that I was talking about. Acorn Hill has quartering winds. And we talk about quartering winds. What we mean, of course, is that winds are blowing in two directions at the same time. And as a result of that, we're going to need to set up the Game Caddy with prevailing winds, of which quartering winds are a subtype. And what we'll do in a moment is we'll roll one die. If it's a 1 through 3, it'll be a type A prevailing wind, and this course has 3. If it's a 4 or 5, it'll be a type B, and if it's a 6, it'll be a type C prevailing wind. The mounds are treated as regular rough for roll purposes, and so if we end up on a mound, the ball comes to rest on a mound, then what we need to do is you have to roll one die. And if that result is a 1, 2, or 3, we're going to play that shot from the regular rough column. And if it's a 4, 5, or 6, we'll go ahead and use the sand column. Now, here's the big restriction that you have with Acorn Hill. The maximum club from the regular rough is a 7-iron. And that can be a killer because it can leave you in a situation where you can't reach the green with your second shot or third shot, depending on whether it's a par 5. In addition to that, when we do our lie rolls, if that roll is between 11 and 46, then we have to read the result 6 lines lower. For example, a roll of 21, I'm talking about a dice roll of 21, would then become a 31. And of course, as those numbers go up, the worse your lie tends to be. And then we'll make that adjustment before we make any scramble adjustment. Okay, quartering wins. This is the standard APBA description of how to handle quartering wins, and this is exactly what the game caddy does. So if a shot, let's say, is a tailwind right, that's 2 directions. Okay, so you have a tailwind and essentially you have a crosswind right at the same time. What you do is you subtract 5 yards from the tailwind. So if it was a 10-yard tailwind, it would become a 5-yard tailwind. And then whatever that number is, it's the same number for the crosswind. So again, if the number was a tailwind of 10, it would be reduced to a 5, and then you'd have a crosswind of 5 as well. Okay, let's go over here to the conditions tab and look at the configuration settings for playing Acorn Hill. Well, we're going to be using the master game rules in part because of the wind, but that's also because that's how I always play. We're going to be using master game lies. We'll keep this on original. We're going to be playing with Harris English, and he's a PGA golfer, not an LPGA golfer, of course. We need to use the modified wind control because of those prevailing winds. And again, I'm going to check auto roll so that the game caddy does as many rolls for me as possible. For the dog leg procedure, I'm going to use the original procedure, meaning that shots that go through the inside of a dog leg will be affected by that dog leg. And I'm going to use the dog leg roll distance adjuster, which mimics the effect of counting grid lines when figuring out what those dog leg effects are. And everything else here is pretty much standard with 2 exceptions. One is I'm going to put a minimum WI shot roll. I'm going to choose the modified setting, which essentially keeps the minimum WI shot roll from going too far negative. Okay, and that really hardly ever comes up on this course anyway. And then the IR scramble, in other words, intermediate rough scramble, I'm also going to select the modified setting. And what that means is that we will be using the regular rough lie rolls for balls that are in the intermediate rough. And these are just a couple of homebrew things that I've just elected to use for the purposes of this round. I'm going to stick with the regular putting boards because almost every one of these greens has a hole note that adds to the difficulty of that green. And so I don't want to make it impossibly hard on myself by choosing the major championship putting boards. We'll just stick with the regular. So I'll go ahead and apply those settings. And now what I need to do is I need to roll for the pin number, day wind, and course conditions. So let me go ahead and do the pin number. That rolls a 5. So we'll click on this 2 times to change that to a 5. The day wind. Okay, this course, I've forgotten the rating here. Let me go back over here. This is an F-rated course for wind. Back to conditions. And that roll is a 24. So 24 in the F column means we have a calm day, which is a blessing. This course is hard enough without having a lot of wind to deal with. And then our course conditions is going to be an 8, which means normal. And so I'll click on this until normal pops up. There we go. Last thing we need to do is figure out the prevailing wind direction, A, B, or C. So I'll click this. and that's a 4. And as I recall, that's a B, but let me just double check. Let's see. Yeah, 4 or 5 is type B. So go back there, and I'll put a B in there as a reminder to me. And this is just a rando round. This won't count as part of my tournament replay. Okay, now I've already put Harris English in here just to save a little bit of time. You can see his average W is a 6, average I is a 5. He doesn't have any momentum or bounce back points or sand points. This doesn't work the ball very well. Shot making is a C in both directions. Clutch, I won't use that today. And he has a scramble of 3, which is good. The higher the number, the better, okay? But we need to check the scramble adjustment tool. You remember what I said about rolls between 11 and 46. You have to add 6, and we're going to do that for the entire round. In fact, I'm going to just keep it that way until it's cleared, since those are the settings that I'm using for my replay. So the way that I do that applies to lies in the rough, and in this case, it could also be the deep rough. So I put a -6 in there, so it will read 6 lines lower from a dice roll of 11 to 46. We won't do anything with these here. They'll stay at zeros for any dice roll. And I am going to put a check mark in the exclude deep rough. So this scramble adjustment will only affect balls that are in the regular rough. Apply that. And we're ready to go. I just need to go ahead and load the first hole here. And I think I said that the pin placement is number 5. This is hole number 1. Okay, and that dice roll is a 34. And we're not going to have any wind in this case because we have calm conditions. But I'm using type B, so I would put in tailwind left as my wind selection. That's a quartering wind. I'm going to click continue, but there's not going to be any wind that shows up, as you can see over here. Okay, you can see that we need to add 15 yards to the flight of all tee shots. Let's go ahead and take a look at that hole. All right, so whoops, I'm gonna use my sort of reddish pink ball marker to match my shirt. And in fact, what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to make myself go away here. You don't need to be looking at me. You want this screen, the course and the game caddy, to be as large as possible on your screen. So I'm going to put a ball marker. Let's use the blue one here for our pin location. So I'll drop that down right there. That's pin location number 5. And you can see these bunkers over here on the left. So I'm going to try to hit that ball somewhere in this general vicinity. I could possibly thread the needle here, but don't really want to take that chance. So I'm just going to tee off, I think, with a 4 wood. Come back over here to the game caddy. I'll put that 15 yards carry from the hole note in there. And we want to stay out of the regular rough if at all possible. So I'm going to select the 4 wood and maybe 5 yards right as well. There we go. And let's take the shot. A 42. In the W column is a 6, which is his average W. Go ahead and reduce that by 5. And the shot goes 245, right 10, and then rolls 15 if in the fairway. 245, right 10, 15 in the fairway. End up right there. Great shot. Put the 15 in. 260, right 10, and fairway. Okay, we have a carry objective of 210. The pin is all the way in the back. of the green. We don't want to go over the green, but I think we're probably going to need to use a 4-iron. I'm short-sighted, so I'm not going to work the ball here. We'll just hit a 4-iron and see what happens. A 61, that's an 8. He did not get all of it. Put an 8 there. That's going to go 435 right 5. So I'm going to be considerably short with that dice roll. And I'm going to get 10 fairway rolls. So 435 right 5, 10 fairway. And so I'm going to end up right there at 445 right 5. And that will be in the fairway just off the green. And I can putt from that distance, but I'm not going to because that's just too far to try to putt from off the green. Put a 10 in there. 445 right 5, update, fairway. And I'm 25 yards out here. And again, short-sighted. So what that means is that I've got to aim. My default aim is right there. That's a little risky. I don't want to do that. I would rather aim here in case I go a little bit long. I'm still on the green. So I'm gonna back that off 5 yards. But obviously, I have to keep it on the center line. So what I'm going to do is make that target 465. And again, because this call distance is now below 25, I need to stick with 25 as my club. We'll do that. A 12 in the A column, not a great roll. That's a 14. So this ends up going 470 right 5, which because I adjusted the target, turns out puts it right on the pin. 470 right 5 is the pin location. So that worked out amazingly well. Click the count button. I'm going to be 7 feet away with the ball on the green. And before we head over to the clubs tab, for all putts, and you're going to see this a lot on this course, read the result one line lower than the actual PRN. Okay, so for example, a 31 becomes a 32, but you don't change PRNs of 32 to 36, which could happen with English. He has a 33 on his card. So anyway, so one line lower. All right, so we'll go over to the putting boards. 7 feet away, we'll go for it. 56 is a 24, which then becomes a 25. So instead of missing it by 1 foot, he's going to miss it by 2 feet. And this is for all putts. We do this, and a 22, of course. It's my rule about second rolls are always doubles. So that 7 becomes an 8, and that's, of course, in. So despite a great approach shot, not being able to putt from 7 feet is a problem. So we're 1 over after 1 hole. Let's go ahead and load hole number 2. And before I do that, I'm going to pick holes number 9 and number 18 for my 2-hole driving average. Okay, so load hole number 2. And we're not going to have any wind again. This 13 is not going to result in any wind, but it would be a tailwind left, and I could click that or not. It doesn't really matter. Okay, no wind. Let's take a look at the hole. All right, 1 second. There we go. So par 4, it'll play 400 yards for us. Again, we got a deep bunker here, a regular bunker there. I'm going to try to hit again somewhere in this vicinity rather than try to thread that needle. So probably a 4 wood again, and we got to deduct 10 yards from the flight of ball. Oh, that's second shots. Okay, not tee shots. I think I remember these things, having played them so many times, but I forget. Okay, so we'll come back here. Deduct 10 yards from second and subsequent shots that are WI. You've got the deep bunkers or an automatic pour lie, and then all putts on one line lower, just like we did on the last hole. Call up the all-in-one menu. I'm going to select 4 wood. I don't have any bounce back points, so let's just grip it and rip it. 62 is a 6 again. Take the average W, reduce that, and 230, right 5, roll 15. I know that's going to be in the fairway, so that'll be 245, right 5. And this time we'll have a good angle. Update, fairway. Now I got to put the -10 in here. All right, carry objective 165, 7 iron. If I knock down a 6 iron, I could do that. I came up short last time, didn't I? I'm going to do a 6 iron knockdown, and I'm going to aim 5 left. Okay, let's see where this goes. 31. That's a 5, which is my average I, and so I'm going to take that. And this is it's going to land on the pin, 400 left 5, but I'm going to get 5 green rolls. So I'm going to go 1 straight past. So I'm going to bounce on the pin location, but then roll 1 square past there. I'll take it. 1 straight. 8 feet this time. All right, and we got that 1 line lower. Ball on green. Let's go for it. Jeez Louise. 34 is a 27, which becomes a 28 from 8 feet. So instead of 2 feet, it's misses by 3 feet. And then the second roll is a 32, which is not terrible. That'll be a 20 made a 21 from 3 feet. That's in. All right, this time it's a par though. Okay. All right, let's load hole number 3. $54. Let's see. So type B is a crosswind right. So we're going to have 5 yards of wind to the right. Okay. Open the all-in-one menu. Well, let's take a look at the hole here. Hole number 3. There's number 5 there. Right on the center line. So this is a par 3. And you can see you've got deep bunkers on both sides of the center line. And this center line has almost no area over here to the right. Well, basically it does have no area because 5 yards in or off the center line is a deep bunker. All right. So we could read these whole notes, but they're kind of busy. So let's go over here to the whole notes in the game caddy. Tee shots landing on green, short of red line, roll backwards 10 yards and stop. Okay. Might be hard. It doesn't look red on the screen, or at least on my screen, but that's the red line. So if it lands short there, you're going back 10 yards. If it's on the green, you can land short on the fairway there, and you're not affected by that. Tee shots coming to rest on green, short of red line, roll back 5 yards and stop. All right, and then we got the deep bunkers here and how they play. Okay, so what do I want to do here? Open the all-in-one menu. This ball's going to be blown to the right a little bit. Can't aim because it's a par 3. I'm okay with going 5 yards to the right, I suppose. Carry objective is 240. If I hit a 4-wood, now if I got that, it would clear that red line. Okay, a 4-wood, if it goes 230, 10, 20, 30 would be right there, and that's past the red line. So I would get my roll, which is probably about 10 yards, but it would put it at that location because of the wind. Plus, that shot would be also, well, it would be down here somewhere because that shot's going to the right anyway, I think. Lots to take into account. Hard to put the ball on the green in this hole, needless to say. So we'll do a 4-wood. We'll just take the shot and see what happens here. A 26 is a 15 in the W column. So this goes actually to the left. So 215, left 15. And I think I'm going to be in that deep bunker, 20 fairway roll. So 215, left 15. Yep, right there in the deep bunker. So no roll. And that's a sand trap. It just plays as a deep bunker. All right, so we're also, our call distance is 30 yards. We've got no sand points. But this is a good angle. Let's see, where do I want to aim? All right, so I think instead of aiming for here, again, because it's so close to the edge of the green, I'm going to aim for this spot right there. So I'm going to back this off 5 yards. 240, going to make it 235. The call distance is 25. And what I've got to get is a good roll here. If I don't get a good roll, what's going to happen is that ball stays in the bunker and is played from the same spot. 36, that is, it's a 5. Okay, thank goodness. All right, so 5 is not one of these. It's not between 13 and 23 or between 25 and 35. So we got it out of the bunker there. Let's see where it goes here. So it goes 240 right on the center line. Once again, put it right on the pin. Great shot. Let's click the count button. 3 feet. Hopefully I can make a 3-foot putt here. We don't have the one lower operating for this particular hole. So we'll go over here. I'm going to roll. So say, unless I get a 54, I'm probably okay. That's a 19 from 3 feet, and that's in. So I was able to pull out a par and a sand save on that hole. Okay. Let me take a swig of water here. And we'll keep playing. Acorn Hill, hole number 4 coming right up. $22, that's going to be no win. I'm just going to click continue because I know it's no win. All right, what do we got going on here? Add 10 yards to the tee and all WI shots. So I'll go ahead and put that in before I forget about it. We've got a normal dog legs, and then we got a second dog leg, which really doesn't matter unless we're blocked by trees. We've got deep bunkers, same deal as the last hole, and all putts 1 line lower. Okay, and this is a 600-yard par 5. Take a look at the hole here. Now, we do have an out of bounds over here, and it is possible with the driver to reach that out of bounds unless you aim to the left. And I am going to hit a driver, so I will aim a little bit to the left. He's not a long hitter, which is not great in this situation. I'm going to aim 10 to the left. You know, if I smack it, I might get it up this far if it goes right. But let's just see. Aim 10 to the left on this hole. Come over here. 10 to the left. We do get that 10 carry, additional carry. All right, hit the driver. Let's hope we don't get a terrible number. 51. No, that'll be fine. That's a 5. I'm going to go left. Now, here's the problem. I'm going to be in regular rough, which means I'm only going to be able to use a 7-iron in the next shot. That's the risk. But I'd rather do that than hit the ball out of bounds. Maybe that was a little conservative on my part. But we're going to go 270, left 25, and then 25 fairway roll, which means 15 roll in the rough. So 270, left 25. Whoops, blue marker. 270, left 25. 10, 25, and then 15 roll 1, 2, 3, right there. All right. Okay. Put the 15 roll in there. Regular rough. Now, because Oak Hill is the only course that I know of that has this 7-iron restriction for regular rough, at least it's the only one that I own. The game caddy won't know this, right? This is a course specific rule. So what's going to happen is I'm going to have available to me clubs that I really can't use if I'm playing, according to this course specific rule with the 7-iron restriction. But I'll go ahead and click 7-iron there. And then, unfortunately, I've got a questionable lie due to my lie roll. And that means that if I want to work the ball, I have to reduce whatever that maximum is by 10 yards. I am not going to work the ball. I'm just going to hit this straight away, and we'll see where this goes. I don't have any wind to contend with. A 62 is a 7. So this is going to go 415, right 10 with 10 roll. So 415, right 10 with 10 roll. So it's going to put it right there at 425, right 10, which is fine. I can reach the green in 3. It's not the end of the world. It's much, like I said, much better than being out of bounds. 10, 425, right 10, fairway. I'm not going to have a good angle, but this pin location is so close to the center line, it's not a big deal. What I want to watch out, though, is for that deep bunker. I don't want to end up in there again if I can help it. So let's open the all-in-one menu. Oh, and I should have added 10 yards to that last shot. I forgot about that. It's all WI shots. I'm not going to go back and adjust that. I've made the mistake. Move on. I'm sure I'll make others. Okay. Deep bunker, same as before, and all putts, 1 line lower as before. And my carry objective is 185. So I'm going to go ahead and hit a 5-iron here. Take the shot. I'm not going to work the ball. A 15 is a 4. So that'll go a little bit right. I may go past the hole here. Let's see what happens here. So the shot goes 6-10, right 5, puts it on the pin, okay? But then we get 5 green roll, so I will be 1 straight past. Hopefully the logic of that is pretty clear. The ball landed here, and then it moves 5 yards past with the green roll. I won't bother to move the marker. 1 straight. And now I've got another 7-foot putt. But this time, for a potential birdie, we'll go for it. 61 is at 17 in the P column, which becomes an 18 from 7 feet. And that's good up to 20. So, a birdie. Very nice. Got that stroke back. So I'm back to even par. Let's go on to hole number 5. Get that hole loaded. Oh, we're going to have some wind on this one, when you know it. Okay. So a 61, what do we got here? Type B is a tailwind right. And for the quartering winds, I've got this. This is an option, and I've got it checked. Option on, allow LR effects. You might not know what that means. Of course, LR means left or right effects. It's referring to something over here on the conditions tab. It's really referring to this box here, and this box here refers to these rolls here, the ones that are shaded a similar color, and this is for calm wind, and you get the same for moderate and blustery as well. That's where these numbers show up. And I'm not going to say too much more about this because I've talked about them in other videos. I know you're looking at this and wondering, well, what's this all about? That's what it's about. Well, we're going to allow the use of these possible effects. All right, so we got tailwind right. Continue. I'm going to come back to the Caddy 3 tab. Oh, I said I was going to use, I'm all mixed up here. The ball marker is supposed to be pink or red, and the player I'm using is supposed to be blue. None of that matters, of course, other than I may have confused you with why I'm picking different ball markers. Okay. All right, so we've got a deep bunker to worry about here. We've got 3 of them, actually. From approach shots from behind green, all right, there's a added difficulty involved with that, so we don't want to end up back there. And then for all putts, 1 line lower. So let me show you the course. There's the pin location in a par 3. So we want to clear these deep bunkers, but we don't want to end up back there. Okay. Then we've got a 5 left wind on this hole. Okay. So 175 is the carry objective. I do want to go left, but I'd also like to hit a 5-iron and knock it down, which would get rid of the effect of that. But that's okay. I'm going to hit a 5-iron knockdown shot here. And that's going to nullify. What it does is it cuts it in half and rounds down, which 2.5 rounds down to 0. All right, 5-iron knockdown. Let's take the shot. A 53. The shot's going to be a little bit short. It's going to be 8. Oh, that's unfortunate. Okay, 8. So it goes 160, right 5, and that's going to put me once again in a deep bunker. 160 right 5 with no roll. Okay, well, we know how to do this. Update, sand trap, record. 15 to pin. So as long as we get a good number, being in the deep bunker won't matter. Click 15 here. Let's get a roll. 41 is fine. That's going to be a 6. So that deep bunker had no effect. Take the shot, end up 4 feet away, ball on green, come over to the putting chart. 64 is a 23, becomes a 24 from 4 feet. That's still in, up to 26. So save par again. Okay, let's move on to hole number 6. You can see that, once you understand a course's hole notes and, you're not having to figure out a bunch of stuff, like you do the first several times you play a course, things can move pretty quickly with the game caddy. So hole number 6. .34, we're not going to have any wind. Maybe if we did, it would be a headwind left. That's going to be 0 wind. This is one of my least favorite holes, and you're going to see why here. This is called double trouble. because on both your tee shot and your second shot, you have to avoid water. And look how close that water is to the center line in both cases. And then maybe it should be called triple trouble because you've got water back here too. But if you hit too long on your second shot, if you hit left on your second shot, and of course, if you hit to the right, you can end up over here in the deep bunker, which is the lesser of evils, but still. All right, so what we want to do is we want to kind of play for this area here. Let's see how we do. I'm going to go, obviously, back with a 4-wood here. I'm going to aim 5 to the left. Hopefully, I won't end up in the rough doing that, but we don't have any wind. 52 is a 30, which is a horrible number. No, I'm sorry. I have a 4-wood. That's a 24, which is a horrible number. Let's see. Let's hopefully this goes left. I can't remember. It goes right. Okay. 220, right 30, 20 roll. 220, right 30, 20 roll. 220, right 30, 10, 20, 30. So it'd be 10 roll. So, well, we avoided the water. That's the good news. We are in the rough, but at least we're not in the water. That's sadly the most important thing here. So 10 roll, and we're going to be in the regular rough. So now I got to hit a 7-iron, and I got to avoid that water. And so if I call up 7-iron, so that's 155. Oh boy. This is a par 4. I'm short-sighted, but I can aim by using the layup tool because I'm not going for the green, obviously, in this situation. What I'm trying to do is hit the ball over here. So I'm going to use the layup tool and try to hit a 7-iron in this vicinity. That allows me to hit across the center line. That's why I'm aiming as opposed to working the ball. All right, so layup. I'm going to hit 10 left maybe. All right, let's do it. Let's see where we go. 15 is a 4, which would also go left from the rough. So 375, 20 left, and 5 roll. I think I'm going to be okay. 375, 20 left, 10, 20, and 5 roll. Okay, I'll take it. Fairway. Okay, now I do have a good angle, and I have a relatively short shot. This is kind of unusual. I haven't really played it this way that many times. If I work, the problem is if I aim 5 right and it goes another 5 right, I could possibly be off the green over there. I'd have to get out my little blow up of the greens for Acorn Hill to determine that. So I'm actually just going to play for the center line, even though I have a good angle. Let's come back here, and 120 yards is the carry objective. So a gap wedge would go 120, but then it's going to roll backwards 5 yards. Oh, I can live with that. We'll do a gap wedge, going for the center line. 56 is an 18. So despite that good position, I wasn't able to take advantage of it. 490 left 15. I think this note is going to come into play. I think it's going to bounce me into the water. 490 left 15. So 490. I'm going to bounce into the water right there. That stupid note. Shots landing between green and water, which that did. Ball bounces 5 yards towards water before taking any roll. Okay, but it went into the water from here, so I can actually drop the ball there, which is what I will do. All right, so we got to register this shot. Daggone it. All right, so I don't need to make any adjustment here, right? Because it's not going to matter where this ball ends up according to the caddy. The caddy just needs to know that this is a penalty. That I need to add a penalty stroke is what it's saying. Now I need to drop the ball. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop the ball at 490 left 15, which is going to be in the rough. We'll place the ball and it'll be in the regular rough. So our stroke count is correct at this point, sadly. And we're 20 to the pin. Come over here. 45. That's a 6. It's nice. And that means 5 feet away. Got to count that stroke. And we don't have any putting stuff that we got to deal with here. We'll just go for it. 66. Okay, well, but I'll take it. That's a 1 on his card. That's in. But a double bogey because of that water and because of a lousy tee shot. Double trouble. What did I say? Okay. Hole number 7. .26, no wind. Okay. Let's take a look at hole number 7. In location there. Long ball hitters have to worry about, getting a 31, which can roll them up to the water here. A bigger problem, look how close these trees are to the center line. You've got 5 yards there on the left. I mean, that's ridiculous. And then you got water over here, so you can't aim left to avoid this. I mean, this is a really difficult hole for a number of reasons, and those are just 2 of them. Okay, so I'm going to try to hit a 4-iron somewhere in this vicinity right here. So it's just a question of whether I want to aim a little bit to the right on top of that. I might aim 5 to the right. Okay, so aim 5 right. Don't have a bounce back. 4 wood. Did I say 4-iron? I meant 4 wood. Let's do this and see what happens. A 12 is a horrible number. It's a 22. So this is going to go way right. I may end up in water again. 230, right 45, 20 roll. 230, right 45. 10. Yep, I'm in the water again after adding 5 yards of that roll. Okay, well, I don't need to, I can put it in there. Again, it's not going to matter because we're going to do what we have done before, which is select PE, and I've got to drop the ball. And, where I'm going to drop it is going to be in the rough, so I'm going to be stuck again with a 7-iron. So let's drop the ball at 235, right 45. Place ball, regular rough. I'm still going to have water to deal with. This is just nasty. All right, so let me show you where I am. Right here. And, hopefully I can clear this with my second shot. And am I blocked by trees to the front of that green? I'm not blocked by this one, clearly. And I would say I'm not going to be blocked by that because with a 7-iron, I'm going to have plenty of distance there. I'm trying not to take the time to count all that out. I'm far enough away that I'm going to have tree clearance. And so anyway, long story short, and I come back here and call it the 7-iron. Now, I guess what I want to see is I've got to get at least 355 distance. 355. That's 135. A 7-iron will get that. So I should have enough club with a 7-iron. And I'm not aiming or anything like that. I'll just hit the ball. 24 is a 6. Okay, that should be all right. 370, left 10, 10 roll. So 370, left 10, and then 10 roll right there. Okay. 380, left 10, in the fairway. And I'm going to have a good angle. I will aim 5 right. I'm in the approach caddy range here. All right, so it's got me, the default target is right where that pin location is. If I go long, I end up off the green. Well, I'll just take a chance at this point. So we'll select that. We'll leave the target where it is. A 12, 14 in the A column. 455. It didn't go long. Right 10. 455. Right 10. 35, 45, 55. Right 10. So I'm going to end up there. So I'm going to be a diagonal and a straight away. Remember, no roll with approach caddy shots. And 31 feet, and all putts 1 line lower. Play it safe. This is where I needed the 66. 21 is a 26, which is a 27. 31 feet, 3 feet. And then 13 is a 25, which is a 26. But from 3 feet is good. So another double bogey. Oh my goodness. Wow. The wheels have come off here. All right, another quick swig of water. Some truly lousy rolls. Okay, hole number 8. And some of these, the back 9 is actually harder than the front 9. Okay, hole 8. Particularly the last 2 holes, you can even say the last 3 holes. 36. Can you imagine if we had wind? That we're not going to be affected by any wind, but again, headwind left. Continue, no wind. All right. And the only other thing we got on this hole is deep bunkers. This is a par 4. Of course, we got out of bounds over here. I can't remember if that's ever come into play on this hole. This is the thing we got to worry about for the tee shot. Again, I'm likely to hit a 4-wood just so I don't end up in that fairway bunker there. So 4-wood. 32. These are terrible rolls. It's just absolutely awful. 23. 225, left 35, 20 roll. So 225, left 35. $10, $20, $35. So I'm in the trees. I'm going to use the tree bounce tool for this round. This is the first time it's come up. Just click this button. Ball bounces back 5 yards and to the left. And of course, the game caddy makes that adjustment for you. But we need to see where that is on the course. So it actually bounces me out of the trees. And it bounces me here, which might seem like, oh, great, you're out of the trees. But I'm clearly blocked by trees. So it doesn't really make much difference. Let me see if I can show this a little bit better from a different angle. Try that. There we go. So I'm not in the trees, but I'm blocked by trees. All right, so update this, regular rough, and blocked by trees. And all that does is it gives me a little warning here that I'm blocked by trees. All right. Again, I'm limited to a 7-iron because I'm in regular rough, which is what I want to use. I need to hit around trees, or I could play safe. But might as well hit around trees here. It's going to penalize me 25 yards to do that because of how far I'm off the center line. And I think I can work the ball left 40. Let me call up the club maximums here for a 7-iron. Yeah, up to 40 yards for working the ball, which is what I will do. So I'll come over here and put that 40 in. I want to try to get this ball as close to the center line as possible. And we'll take our 2 rolls here. A 46. Okay, that's going to be a 5. I thought it might be a 12 or something. That's going to be a 5. And then that is his average I, which I will take. And then the second roll is what? A 55. And that's a 4. So I'll put that here. Let's see what happens. So it goes 3, 35, right 10, roll 5. Okay, 3, 35, right 10, roll 5. And I'm either in the intermediate rough or I'm in the fairway. Let's see what that looks like when it's illuminated. Let me move the ball out of the way. Let's see. I think that's intermediate rough. So that would be 340, right 10. Is that what we got here? 340, right 10. And I'll say that's in the IR. It's pretty close, but. Okay, and it doesn't matter because we're within approach caddy range here, so that'll be treated like a fairway shot. And it will target, by default, the pin location because I have a good angle. So I'll just leave it at that. Take the shot. 41 is a 6. These are great numbers for his approach shots. That puts the ball right on the pin. 430, left 5. Let's see. Let's put it in the hole. In! It's in! All right. I finally get a break. All right. Fantastic. So that's going to be a birdie. I got to count that stroke. Yeah, so 3 strokes. All right, we've got a birdie. I've still got to go over here to the putting boards so I can transfer the putts. Okay. So we're only 3 over at this point, thanks to a miracle shot on hole number 8. All right, let's look at hole number 9. Okay, 56, headwind. It's up here. Okay. So we're going to lose 5 yards on the tee. Oh, well, on each WI shot anyway. Let's take a look at the hole. So this is hole 9. This is a tough hole. And for reasons I've written about. Okay, and what makes it particularly tough is you got a dog leg here, right? This is a normal dog leg. And if you're over on the right on your tee shot, you're going to be blocked by trees. And again, by Apple Master Game rules, when you're blocked by trees and there's a dog leg involved, then those dog leg effects are turned back on. That's there. So we want to try to hit over here to the left, and we want to try to hit it as far as we can. But if we do that, then we could easily end up over here in the rough or in these trees. And then if we're in the rough, we can only use a 7-iron. And then there's no way that English is going to reach the green on his second shot. So, I mean, in some ways, some of these holes feel incredibly unfair, particularly if you aren't a bomber. But again, I chose to play the hole. I chose to play the course. I didn't have to do that. But I wanted to show some of the challenges of playing Acorn Hill. All right, and then that second shot, you also deduct 10 yards from it. So we're not affected on the first shot here, other than the headwind, of course, which makes it all the more difficult. I'm going to stick with the driver. I'm going to aim 10 left because I don't want I don't even know if that makes sense to do, but here goes. A 54, it wouldn't have mattered. No plan would have worked in this situation. A 54 is a 14. Okay. Maybe a 2-iron would have been okay because that would have been converted to his average W. But I would have been short, and I would have been short right, so I would have had that dogleg problem that I was telling you about. So I'm still short right, but in a different way. 250 right 20, and that's going to hit a tree. So I'm going to have to just do a bounce at this point. So 250 right 20, 10. 20. In some ways, it's better to be in the trees because you're not affected by the dogleg if you're in the trees, only if you're blocked by trees. So we'll use the tree bounce tool, and hopefully, right now we're not in a tree. We're on top of a tree square, but we're not in the tree. Let's see what the tree bounce does. Ball bounces back 5 yards into the right. Well, normally I would say, well, that sucks, but this is actually wonderful. Now we are under a tree. All right, so I've gone ahead and moved it back and 5 to the right. We are now under a tree, so the dog leg no longer comes into a play. We just play this as under a tree. Okay. If that doesn't make sense to you, it's not you. It's just it's the way the rules read. Okay, now under a tree, we're going to be limited as a result of that. We have a clear shot using the fairway line from the trees. Maximum club is a 5-iron and no aiming. Oh, this is great. I mean, we're still not going to get to the green, of course, but this is great. We're not affected by the dog leg because we're under a tree, but we can hit it from the fairway, and so we don't have to worry about that dog leg. We're not. It says clear shot. So I'm taking that literally. We're not blocked by trees. It's a clear shot. All right, so I'm just going to go ahead and roll. I mean, sometimes you just get lucky, like sometimes you just get unlucky. 45 is a 6 in the I column. So this goes to 410, right 5 with 5 roll. 410, right 5, 5 roll. So that's going to put it right there. 415, right 5. I will take it. Let's put the 5 roll in. And we're in the fairway. Got to be short-sighted. I can live with it. I'm going to make the target 475. And I want to make sure I end up on the green no matter what. Oh, I forgot to deduct the 10 yards for all second shots. Okay. So again, just like I did before, that would make this actually 10 yards farther away, which wouldn't affect anything because I would still be within this range. All right, so we'll take the shot. 23 is a 6. Well, he's got a great card for approach shots. And so this is 0, right or left 5. So where I was targeting is that spot right there. So I'll come over here 5. I'll be 1 straight away. Here, calc. 10 feet to save par. And 1 line lower again. Go for it. 41 is a 19, becomes a 20 from 10 feet. Darn it. Yeah. If it weren't for that 1 line lower, it would have gone in because I would have had a 19, which would have been good for a par. But the 20 makes it from 1 foot. And then, of course, I get the 55 for the second roll. Okay, so we gave that stroke back. All right, transfer that over. Okay, so I've played 9 holes. I'm just gonna keep going. Let's get all 18 holes in here if we can. So I'm 4 over. I've got 12 putts, which is pretty darn good actually for 9 holes. And then, but the total length of only 28 feet, which is not so good. That's there. And here's the problem: greens and regulation and fairways. You're he's just not hitting the ball very well. He's not striking the ball very well at all. 29% and 22%. Okay. Let's load hole number 10. I'm going to have some wind this time. A B is tailwind left. There's a 5 left here. Okay, and add 15 yards to the flight of all tee shots. We have some water on this hole. If it lands, if the tee shot lands or rolls a 275 mark or more, double any remaining roll, which, if you look at the hole here, you know, can put you into the water if you're a long hitter. Harris English is not a long hitter. Realistically, all we need to worry about is this bunker here. But because I'd like to take advantage of that roll, I think I am going to hit a driver. And there's our pin location for this hole. Okay, I get this 15 yards automatically. So let's hit the driver. I'm not going to aim. I'm just going to swing away. A 63 is not a 31 on his card. It is a 16. Another terrible number. So this goes 260, right 20, and then we get 30 rolls, some of which may be doubled here. So 260, right 20. Oh, wait a minute. There we go. 10, 20. So we're going to be in the rough. So we're not going to. So that 30 roll becomes 15 roll. 1, 2, 3. So we're just in the regular rough. There, not on a mound or anything, just in the regular rough. Rolled over part of a mound, which rolls like regular rough. 275, right 20. Regular rough. Okay, carry objective of 170. I've got this 5 left. I don't want to go left. Let's knock this down. So 6 iron. Really, I just want to put the ball on the green somewhere. I'm not going to get close to the hole. I don't see a way to do that. I don't want to go long. I'm not going to knock it down. I'm just going to hit a 6 iron. .25 is a 4. 440 left 15. And then 15 green roll if I'm on the green. 440 left 15. So 10, 20, 30. I'm not on the green. And what was the fairway roll? The fairway roll was a 10, so that will move 5. I'm going to be in the regular rough there. Okay. 25. Call distance. Let's take again another look. I have a good angle. You can pretty much aim for anywhere. I'm going to aim for pin location number 4. So that means, well, and it says hitting from west of target. I actually want to hit from, I think, north of the target. Okay. And then I want this to be 435, right 5. Okay, so we're, and again, I'm going to ignore that 20. I'm going to use the 25. So just to be clear, I'm hitting from this direction and I'm targeting pin location number 4. And select this. Roll. A 54 is a 17. So it goes left. 425, left 5. So this is not a good result. 425, left 5. 10, 25. So I'm going to be a mile away. That is 1, 2, 3 diagonals away. $58 feet and 1 lower again. All right, well, we're going to play it safe. 65, 21 becomes a 22. That's 4 feet. And then a 25 is a 24, becomes a 25, and that's good. But still a bogey. Yeah, and this back 9 doesn't get any easier. All right, let's go to hole 11. $52, crosswind right. No wind. Add 5 yards to the flight of all tee shots. Let's take a look at the hole. It's a par 3. Pin location is right here. And we got water. Normally that water is not a big deal, but who knows with the way I'm playing today. So I'm going to hit a 4-wood. And I'm not doing anything. I'm just going to hit the 4-wood. 66 is a 3. It might be okay. So this goes, I'm going to go too far. 250 left 10 and then 10 green roll. If I'm on the green at 250 left 10. And I think I am. And then I'm going to get 10 roll. Let me move the ball marker a little bit. All right. 250 left 10. 10, 25. So that hits there and rolls 10. I'm 1 past. Wow. 1 past. All right. 1 straight. And it took a 66 for that to happen. 5 feet away. Now let's get a birdie here. 26 is an 18 from 5 feet. That's good. Finally. All right. That went quick. Let's load hole 12. Whoops. I started to load it before I clicked this button. 12. All righty. 61. Crosswind left. So we got 5 left for the wind. And then deduct 10 yards from all second and all subsequent shots. This is going to be a par 4 with a crosswind left. Again, because of this bunker, I think I'm going to hit like a 4-wood. You know, if I stay out of the rough, he's not going to have any trouble reaching the green in 2. Put the ball marker there. Forward. And the wind's blowing at 5 left, so I'm going to aim 5 right. Take the shot. 62 is a 6, which is his average W. I'll take it. So 230, right 5, roll 15. Right there. 15 in for the adjusted roll. 245, right 5. Fairway. We've got a good angle now. But the wind's blowing me 5 left anyway. So I'll leave well enough alone. 155. Oh, now do I want to knock down this shot? 7-iron knockdown. Yeah, I'm going to do that. 7-iron knockdown. That'll eliminate that 5 left. But let's see. Oh, and deduct 10 yards. Oh, I almost forgot that. So 165. It's not going to be a 7-iron. It's going to be. It is going to be a 7-iron, but it's not going to be. No. I don't want to end up short. So 6-iron knockdown. We'll do 6-iron, and we still got the knockdown selected. Okay. And the reason I don't want to be short is I don't want to, run into that deep bunker there on the left or the right. Okay. So let's take the shot. 15, 4. I'm definitely not going to be short. All right, so this is 405, right 5, and then 5 roll. .405, right 5 is going to be right there. I'm going to roll off the green. Yeah, it's going to roll to the right, that spot right there. Okay. I can't get the marker where I want it to go, but trust me, it's in the rough. 410, right 5, regular rough. 10 to the pin. Just like that. Take the shot. 44 is a 4. And I'm going to have a 7-foot putt for par here. Let's go for it. 65 is a 21. Most people have a 17 there. 21. It's good for par. And that wasn't a 1 lower, was it? I don't remember that being the case. No. Yep, so it's good. All right, in. Okay, let's load hole 13. This is going to be a par 5, 55, headwind right. So we're going to lose 5 on the carry. This is a true quartering wind. Lose 5 on the carry, and it's going to get blown 5 right. I'm going to add 15 to all tee shots, flight, and then deduct 15 from every other WI shot. Shots can't roll through water. Yeah. His longest drive of the day. What is it? Let me take a look over the scorecard here. His longest drive so far is 285. I'm not going to worry about that water up there. Maybe I should, but I'm not going to. Oh, wait, but you add 15 to this. Yeah. All right, we're back to a 4-wood again. Back to a 4. He has a 33 and a 32 on his card. Yeah, we'll do a 4-wood. I'm being conservative here. Take the shot. 46. You got a 32. So 250, right 15, roll 30. 250, right 15, roll 30. So that's going to be in the fairway. It's probably a good thing that I talked myself out of hitting a driver. There we go. All right, so we get the full 30 roll. Fairway. And now we've got to deduct 15. And it doesn't matter when you put that minus 15 or plus 15 in there, as long as you do it before you click take shot. Okay. Let's just hit a 4-wood. Grip it and rip it. 31 is a 6, which is his average W. I'll take it. This goes 485, right 10. Boy, am I going to roll into the bunker? I sure am. 485, right 10, roll 15, but I'm not going to get it. 485, all right, so 1, 2, right 10. And I can only roll 5 because I'm going to roll right into that bunker. What are the odds? Okay, come back here, put a 5 in there. And that's going to be a fairway bunker, I believe. I think that's going to be 100 yards or more. Let's see. Yeah, 120. Okay, so now I've got a decision to make. I've got a poor lie, and I can play safe with the maximum club of a 7-iron, which is what I'm going to do. I don't need to hit the ball farther than a 7-iron. I'll take it. Carry objective is 120. I'm going to hit a pitching wedge because that pin location is in the back of the green. Let's do a pitching wedge. Wait a minute. I got to deduct 15 again. I forgot about that. Minus 15. That's going to change my club. I'm going to hit a 9-iron. And playing safe, I can go all the way up to a 7-iron. So a 9-iron. And I do have a good angle. I could aim. I'm not going to because this ball will have a tendency to go pretty far to the right or left. 44 is a 4. I may go over the green on this. 610, yeah, right 15, so that's the wrong direction. And then 5 fairway rolls. So 610, right 15. This is 605. Or is it 600? Let's see. 10, 20. That's 605. I've forgotten what it is. 610, right 15. I'm going to hit a tree. I'm not going to get any roll. And now I got to see if I bounce. Ball bounces back 5 yards. Okay, it bounces me out of the tree, and I'm just into the regular rough here. All right, so minus, oh, no, it's already included. Don't do any roll. My bad. 605, right 15. Regular roll, regular rough, I mean. I'm going to be 20 to the pin from the regular rough. .33 is a 4. 10 feet. And in this case, we read the putt 1 above. All right. So, for example, a 32 becomes a 31. You don't change a 33, 36, or a 1. Okay. So 10 feet. This is a par 5. So this is to save par from 10 feet. Not a good roll. That 26 becomes a 25. That's going to be 2 feet. And then, of course, the doubles. 33 is a 9 becomes an 8. That's not a great number there, but anyway, another bogey. So I'm 5 over for this round. Let's move on to hole 14. And that's with a chip in, or not a chip in. It was a long shot in hole 14. .62. So we're gonna have some wind. Headwind left. So it's going to be a variable headwind. We won't know. It's going to be a variable headwind left. We won't know what that is until we actually take the shot. It will never show a quartering wind here. That's just the way that box is designed. It was designed before I knew about quartering winds, but it will function. It will do the calculations as if there's a quartering wind, even though that label will only tell you either headwind or tailwind. Okay. One menu. I'm going to add 10 yards to the flight of all tee shots. And we get this one lower again. So let's take a look at the hole. This is 14. Pin location way over here. On this hole, I just generally grip it and rip it and hope the ball ends up somewhere in this general vicinity. But the way he's hitting the ball today, there's no telling where it's going to end up. And that, especially with this quartering wind that we've got. But let's just do it. Grip it and rip it. 23 is a 14. And there was no wind. So 265, right 30, and 30 roll. 265, right 30. That would be down here, and then we'll get 15 roll. Not the end of the world. That's why I said on that hole, I just grip it and rip it and cross my fingers and hope for the best. 280, right 30. I'm going to be in the regular rough. I'm going to have a good angle. So it's going to target that location. I'm going to go for that spot. Unfortunately, we are going to, whatever wind we have will be cut in half. I mean, I would prefer we didn't have any wind, but because of being 50 yards out, we will have some potential for some wind. Let me put it that way. All right. 14, another stinking roll. 15. And we end up at 320, left 20. I think I missed the green here. So this is 315, left 10. So this is 320, 10. We end up right there in the regular rough. Ten to the pin. 31 is a 5. 6, and we've got to read one lower again. You can see why I didn't want to do the major championship boards. Okay. 41. I've had that number so many times. 19 becomes a 20. 20 from 6 feet is good. All right. So saved par. Whoops. Let's go on to hole 15. This is going to be a short par 3 with no wind. Okay, we got two things with the hole notes here we need to pay attention to. One of them is this area right here. So the tee shots that land in the fairway segment short or right of the green will roll 5 yards right before taking any other roll. Okay, so I want to end up here. We actually want to end up on the green. And the other thing that we have are the deep bunkers. Okay, and if we end up in there, then we have to deal with the A column results of 13 to 23 and 25 to 35. 170, 6 iron, knockdown, and that tee position, or excuse me, the pin location is all the way in the back right. So we could easily end up over the green. You see what I mean? Right here. Okay, so I'm going to do a 6 iron knockdown. I mean, what do I really have to lose there? 64 is a 5. It's going to go the opposite way anyway. So 5, I will take the average eye. But maybe on the center line here. 165 on the center line with 5 green roll. So I'll be in okay position. I mean, it's not great. 165 plus 5. So 35, 45, 55, 65, 5 green rolls, 2 straights. $22, and we don't have any putting business to worry about here. I'm going to play it safe, though. 13, good thing I did. 25 from 22. It's 2 feet. And then 24, that's a 28. Didn't get doubles for sure, but that's in 22 feet. So once again, managed to par. Let's go on to hole number 16. And this is the beginning of where things really get tough for this course. If you didn't think things were tough enough already. Okay, no wind. That's good. Tee shots that land or roll in the fairway on or past 275, you add 15 yards to the stated roll. That would be nice, except you got, again, you run the risk, if you can hit the ball this far, you run the risk of this bunker right here. And of course, you got trees pretty close to the center line, particularly on the left. All right. So open the all-in-one menu. Oh, what the heck. I'm going to hit a driver. I mean, chances of him being on the fairway with any club are pretty slim. And it's true. 24. Okay. So 255, right 45. I think I'm gonna land between trees here, and then 30 roll, which would be 15 roll if I even get it. 255, right 45. That's going to be 30, 45, and then 50. I'm only going to get 5 roll, and then I run into a tree. Okay, so I'll add 5 roll there. I'm going to be in the rough. There's no dog leg here, thank goodness, but I'm going to be in the regular rough. I'm going to be blocked by trees. Okay, so that means I can only use a 7-iron because I'm in the rough. All right. Do this, just select 7-iron, get that out of the way because I know that's the club. Hit around trees, yes. Remember, 40 was the maximum. You can work the ball with a 7-iron. We looked that up before. And an aim distance adjustment of 30 yards. So I will work the ball right 40 yards. And take the shot. 15 is a 4 in the shot column, and then 65 in the work the ball is a 6. I think this will be okay. I mean, I'll get out of that mess. 370, left 20, roll 5. Oh, goodness. I'm over here in regular rough again, I think. Yep, that's regular rough. So roll 5. But we're close enough now that that 7-iron restriction doesn't really come into play. All right, now I have a good angle. I'm going to target that spot right there. So I'm going to make it right 5 instead of right 10. Don't have any wind to deal with. Call up the all-in-one menu. Select that. 45 is a 6. So 460, right 5. So it should be a diagonal away. 460, right 5. So that shot should have gone right there. Yep, one diagonal. And we're one lower again on the putts. 14. But this, unfortunately, is for a par. We'll go for it. 13. 25 is a 26. 3 feet. It's just a long par 4, especially if you're not in the fairway. 42 is a 23. That's a 24 from 3 feet. That's in. So another bogey. Let's go to 17. And these are two of the toughest holes on the course. Let's load it up. 17. Gonna have some wind. Let's see what we got. Tailwind right. So same as what I said before, we're gonna have a quartering wind. It's also gonna blow us to the right if we have wind. Deduct 10 from all tee shots. And we've got a stinking dog leg. I'm just gonna hit it down the middle, I hope. Let's see what happens. I don't know why I think I would hit it down the middle. 64, a 6, all right. I think I'll be okay in terms of that dog leg and being blocked by trees on this hole, not so much on other holes. 250 right 15 because I got blown to the right a little bit. So 250 right 15 with 25 roll. So that's going to be what, 275 right 15. Yeah, I think I'll be okay. I think I'll be in the fairway here. Let's see if I'm blocked though. So 270, so 215 right 15 is there. That's intermediate roughish rolls like fairway. So I'm going to roll out to here. I am in the fairway and I am not blocked by trees. I can eyeball that. I don't need a straight edge to tell me that. 25, 75 right 15 fairway. Did I click that? Maybe I missed it. All right. Oh, need to put the pin marker up here. So it's pretty far over on the right. Once again, sitting over there on the edge of the green, near that mound. We've got tailwind. 205. 205. This is sort of stinky. I don't really have the right club in my bag for this. With a tailwind, I don't want to hit a 4-wood, which is going to go too long anyway. So I'm going to hit a 2-iron and I'm going to end up short unless the wind blows me. So I'll just grip it and rip it here. 41 is a 7, so he didn't even get all of it. Let's see what the wind does, if anything. Well, it blew me a little bit. So I end up at 475 right 5, which means I missed those bunkers. Oh, and now how much roll do I get? I didn't look. Fairway rolls 20. I might be okay. 475 right 5, and then roll 20. 10, 20 is right there. I'm knocking the ball marker away. So I'm going to be a diagonal and a straight away, I think. Yeah. Yep. Just double checking everything. So this will actually be for a birdie opportunity, 29 feet, and once again, 1 line lower. I'm going to play it safe. He does not have the card to make long putts, unless you get a 66, which would go in anyway. 61 is a 17, which becomes an 18. Missed it by a foot. And then 13 is a 25, becomes a 26, and that's in. So I managed to par a difficult hole. I'm pleased with that. And let's go to the last hole. We're getting all 18 holes in here today. That's great. And I'm not really trying to play fast. I'm just, playing steady with this. If you wanted to race through this and you knew what you're doing, you certainly could. I'm not going to have any wind here. And as I've said many times before, as I talk and do this, that slows things down because, I can think in my head faster than I can say the words out loud. So add 5 yards to the fly of all tee shots. And then we just got the putting deal going on up here. So let's look at the hole. 18's a challenging one because of its length. Again, you got to stay in the fairway. I'm going to go ahead and hit a driver. Let's do that. 26, unfortunately, is a 15. I don't know if I'm going to be in the fairway. 255, left 25, 30 roll. 255, left 25. 15 roll. All right, it's going to be the 7-iron deal again. 15 roll. Not blocked by anything. I got a questionable lie again, which will give me 10 carry, but, well, it won't. It's going to, I've got a 10 carry and a questionable lie, which restricts any working the ball, which I'm not going to do anyway. So the pin location is just off the center line to the right. Show you that in a little bit. 7-iron is my max club because I'm in the regular rough. So we'll just grip it and rip it here. 36 is a 17. 415, left 15, 5 roll. 415. Yep, and I'm in the regular rough again. .420, left 15, regular rough. All right, and I'm still not to the green. I do have a good angle. We're going to leave it right where it is. I think I should be okay. 495, right 5, that's 80. Use this club here. 64 in the A column is a 5. 500 on the center line, which is going to put me right there. You can't see it, can you? All right, so it's right there. Now I've got a blow up of this. So I'm going to go over here to that blow up. And those are the first 9 holes. I didn't have to use it. Let's go down here. 500 on the center line is on the green. So I am 1 diagonal away. So these last 2 holes, I said, are really difficult. Well, I could still bogey this one. Ball on the green, and it's 1 line lower. Again, I could definitely bogey this with Harris English. We'll go for it. 25 is a 20. I did. 24, which is a 25 from 8 feet. 2 feet. And then 61 is a 17, which is an 18. That's good from 2 feet. So another bogey. These are just really long holes if you end up in the rough. I didn't on 17, but I did on 18. So I ended up 7 over, a shot of 77 today. You know, not one of my finest rounds, not proud of it. But, you know, here's the problem. 36, I had 5 fairways, 36% fairways. I had 5 greens, 28% greens in regulation. I did have a couple of sand saves. Happy about that. The average driving distance for all holes combined, okay, except for, of course, the par 3s, is a 258. And then longest drive on the day was a 285. And then longest putt made was just 7 feet. The total length putts made 60 feet. You see these numbers, you know you're not going to have a good round. And then 258 was also the average. Whoops. I misspoke. This is the 258 down here is the average driving distance for all drives except for par 3s. This is for the 2 holes that I selected, hole 9 and hole 18. Those were the 2 holes that I selected to calculate driving distance. And as it happened, it turned out to be the same distance. Okay, so that's Acorn Hill. I hope that you were able to see how you can play 18 holes in one sitting, as I did. It's a difficult course to play if you go by all the rules. I mean, when I say to play, I don't mean from a game caddy standpoint. I mean, it's a difficult course to score well on. And if you've read my replay write-ups over on thegamecaddy.com, you'll see what I mean. Very few players are under par after 3 rounds. Thanks for joining me. Until next time, grip it and rip it.